Hey folks! 6 months ago I released the first part of a theory about who Kovu's father is. Judging by the comments in this video, many cartoon fans believe that Scar is his father. And one of the alleged proofs of this is his green eyes. Both Scar and Kovu have green eyes. Basically, I mentioned this fact in my video as well. However, many people are wrong in saying that Kovu's parents are Scar and Zira, because then it turns out that Kovu married his cousin Kiari. In the Lion King 2 cartoon, Nuka clearly shows Scar merely adopted Kovu and chose him as his successor. I'll tell you more. According to today's theory, Kovu doesn't come after Isiri's son. Yes, my friends, today I will present another theory about the Lion King cartoon that reveals the origin of Kovu. In this video, I will mention something I didn't mention in the first part of this theory. As I said, we cannot doubt that Kovu is not Sharam's son. But to understand who his real parents are, we need to know who Zira's son really is. Theoretically, Zira has 3 children, Nuka, Kovu, and Vitani. But the subsequent theory is this: only Nuka is Zira's biological son. Kovu and Vitani were only adopted by her. Some obvious facts in the second part of the King cartoon support this theory. The first fact is that Zira turns her anger against Kovu and even scratches his face at a certain point in the cartoon. I don't know if you know this, but a lioness would never turn on her cub. Lionesses are known for their penchant for super defense, much more so than the lions themselves. In the history of the cartoon kings, a lioness has never turned against her cub, and it doesn't matter what he unleashes. For example, if you know about Sharam's past, his mother Uru loved him very much, even after he tried to kill Mufasa several times. In other words, even though his brother tried to kill his other brother, his mother still didn't stop loving him. Well, at least that's the case for almost all lions. In the cartoon, Zira turns against Kovu only because she thinks he's responsible for Nuka's death, reminding us that Nuka is really Zira's only son. Also, there's a moment at the end of the cartoon where Vitania goes over to Simba's side. And what is Zira to do? I agree, it doesn't sound like a mom talking to her daughter. Even though Zira is a psychopath, there is one scene where she shows true love. It's the death scene of Nuki, who was her only biological son. In other words, Kovu and Vitani are not Zira's children, they are merely adopted by her. But the question is, why was Zira dragging Kovu around so hard if he wasn't even her son? It's worth remembering that she was madly in love with Scar. In the cartoon, she says that Scar chose Kovu as the heir to the Pride Lands. There are several reasons why Scar didn't choose Nook as his heir. These are a few reasons I mentioned in the video why Scar didn't choose Nuku as his heir. The most obvious point is that Nuka didn't meet Scar's expectations. He's a sickly lion, both externally and mentally. Maybe he spent his entire childhood chasing butterflies and smelling flowers. We also see that his mane is not growing, and it doesn't seem to have grown since he was a child. The Scar noticed this defect and thought that Nuka was not right. However, let us now return to our theory and try to understand who Vitani's real parents are. Again, I will mention that in one of my videos with the same name, I mentioned some of the theories regarding who Vitani's parents are. Explaining or proving who Vitani's parents are is a complicated topic. But there is a suspicion that it was Tojo and Tama. Tojo is a lion who appears in the book Orphaned Chicks. Tama also appears in the book Trouble in Paradise. Both books are from the Lion King series, and both characters are similar to Vitani. For example, Tojo has the same eyes and Tama has the same chick as Vitani. They're also the same generation as Simba, so they could likely be Vitani's parents. Kovu could be the son of Chumvi and Kula. These two were Nala's friends during Scar's reign. Their darker fur is similar to that of presumably their son, that is Kovu. They don't have green eyes, but Kovu may have inherited his eye color from his grandmother or grandfather. Chumvi and Kula appear in Nala's courage and are most likely Kovu's real parents. I know what you're probably thinking, but how can you even talk about Chumvi, Kula, Tojo, and Tamo if they're not canon characters? I'll try to explain it to you. It is known that the books in the Kingdom series were written after the cartoon, yet Disney approved it. Why were the books written? One reason is that the cartoon left many unanswered questions. One of those questions is, if Nuka says that Kovu is a primate, then who is actually his father? That's why characters like the same Chum, Wikala, Tojo, and Tama were added, and it clarifies the situation in the Lands of Pride might have looked like. So, although these are unofficial data, they still help to explain some moments of the cartoon, and it is your own business whether or not to accept these versions. They're just theories. Maybe someday Disney will decide to make a cartoon with these non-canonical characters, but for now, we'll be happy with what we have. You know, it's like the Spirit cartoon. It doesn't show Spirit's father, but he has one. And haven't you ever wondered who his father is? Where do you look for the answer to that question? The cartoon does not provide an answer. It only offers some hints. That's why various books or comics are published to illuminate the situation. But you may have another question. How did Kovu and Vitani end up in Zira's clutches? One standard answer is that Zira killed Kovu's parents and kidnapped him because Nuka wasn't fit to be the heir. Well, Zira wasn't always this bad. She became really crazy after Scar died. She lived in the lands of Pride before her banishment, and many believe that she was a childhood friend of both Tama, Vitani's mom, and Kula, Kovu's mom. As many lions do in real life, Scar banished all the lions during her reign. Along with the other lions, Tojo, Vitani's father, and Chumvi, Kovu's father, left the kingdom's lands forever because of their king. We already know that Scar's reign was the worst of all. In addition to the terrible drought, a food shortage reduced the number of individuals. With that in mind, it's quite possible that some lions starved to death, including Vitani's mother and Kovu's mother. And since Zira was good friends with Tama and Kula, she decided to adopt their babies. Kovu and Vitani were still babies then, so they thought of Zira as their mother. A grandson has already been born, but there is no confirmation that he is Scar's son. Zira could have had a relationship with another lion, even before Scar. Or she could have cheated on Scar with another lion, and that's why he banished all the lions of the Sprayed. However, Scar ultimately thought Kovu was very similar to him, so he chose him as his successor. Nuka was obviously very angry as he felt they should have chosen him. To summarize, this theory tells us that Kovu is the son of Chumvi and Kula, Vitani is the daughter of Tojo and Tama, and Nuka is the son of Zira from some other unknown lion, or possibly Scar. And fourth, Zira has accepted Kovu and Vitani into her family. Now it's time for your thoughts. What do you think about this theory? Write in the comments so that I can know your opinion. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss similar videos. And here are some questions for you to ponder. Do you agree that Vitani and Kovu are not Zira's birth children? What is the likelihood that Chumvi and Kula are Kovu's biological parents? How do you feel about the compilation of 6 new adventures? Was it a mistake to give these books a life? The upcoming Lion King movie may include previously non-canon characters, but we'll just have to wait. In the meantime, write your thoughts in the comments. Have a good day, everyone, and see you soon.